Imagine planting your garden just one time and enjoying fresh harvests, not just for a single season, but for many, many years to come without constantly replanting or starting over. It might sound like a dream, but today I'm going to show you 9 amazing perennial crops that do exactly that. They come back every single year, require very little work, and keep your garden productive with minimal effort. If you want a backyard that saves you time, saves you money, and still provides your family with delicious, nutritious food, then this is the video for you. And make sure you watch until number 1 at S, one of the most unusual and fascinating crops you'll ever hear about. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Chandler, and here on GardenLife Studio, I help gardeners like you grow smarter, not harder. If you're ready to transform your space into a thriving, low-maintenance food garden, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on new growing tips. Now, let's jump straight into the list. Starting us off at number 9 is rhubarb. Rhubarb is an incredibly hardy perennial that produces year after year once it's established. It can live for more than a decade and is one of the very first crops to appear each spring, which is always a welcome sight. Rhubarb loves well-drained, fertile soil and plenty of sunlight. When you plant the crowns, give them about 3 feet of space and allow them time to settle in properly. Care is extremely simple. Just water it during dry stretches and add a good layer of mulch around the crown in the autumn to protect it. A crucial tip: don't harvest anything during the first year, but after that, you'll get more stalks than you expect. And remember, only the stalks are edible. The leaves contain oxalic acid and must never, ever be eaten. Coming in at number 8, we have Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes. These plants are tough, incredibly productive, and almost too easy to grow. These tall relatives of the sunflower can thrive even in poor soil, handle drought well, and will reliably return every single season. To plant them, just place the tubers about 3 to 5 inches deep, spaced 12 to 18 inches apart, and give them a spot with full sun. They require very little care, but be aware they spread fast. If you're not careful, they can take over a garden bed. Harvest them after the first frost for their sweetest, nuttiest flavor. You can roast them, mash them, or slice them thinly into salads. And the best part? Any little tubers you miss during the harvest will simply regrow next spring. Next up, at number 7, we have chives. Chives are one of the simplest and most rewarding perennial herbs you can grow, making them a fantastic addition to any garden. They have a mild, oniony taste that's great in so many dishes. They grow with almost no effort, and their beautiful purple flowers are magnets for beneficial insects, like bees and other pollinators. Plant them about 8 inches apart in a spot that gets full sun or even partial shade. They also grow beautifully in containers on a patio or balcony. To keep them productive, just trim them regularly. You can harvest by snipping the leaves about 2 inches above the soil, and they'll just keep growing back. At number 6 is horseradish. If you love a bit of spice, horseradish is for you. It's bold, zesty, and incredibly tough. Plant it once, and it will come back every year, often spreading if you don't keep it contained. It prefers full sun and loose, well-drained soil. You plant the root cuttings at a slight angle, about 2 inches deep. It's so low maintenance that you only need to water it during long, dry periods. The main harvest time for the roots is in late fall, after a frost has improved their flavor. Any small pieces of root you leave behind in the soil will sprout and grow again next year. Because horseradish can spread so aggressively, many gardeners choose to grow it in large containers to keep it under control. Now for one of the most prized perennials. At number 5 we have asparagus. Asparagus is truly one of the best long-term investments you can make in your garden. Once it's established, a single patch can produce delicious spears for 15 to 20 years, or even longer. It prefers full sun and well-drained soil. You'll want to start with 1-year-old crowns. Plant them in a trench that's about 6 to 8 inches deep, and space them around 18 inches apart. Patience is key with asparagus. You shouldn't harvest anything during the first year, and only harvest lightly in the second. But by the 3rd year, you'll be rewarded with tender, flavorful spears every spring. Just be sure to keep the bed weed-free and top it up with a fresh layer of compost each year to keep it happy. At number 4 is a wonderful green that deserves more attention. Sorrel is a lemony, refreshing perennial that's one of the first greens to pop up in the spring. It comes back reliably every year and produces steadily throughout the season, giving you a continuous supply. Plant it in well-drained soil with either full sun or partial shade, and space the plants 12 to 18 inches apart. It needs very little care besides some watering during hot, dry spells to prevent it from bolting. you can start harvesting the outer leaves when they reach about 4 to 6 inches long. Sorrel is absolutely delicious in soups, salads, and sauces, adding a bright, zesty flavor that's totally unique. Making a statement, at number 3 is the globe artichoke. Globe artichokes are stunning plants that not only produce delicious edible buds for several years but also look incredible in the garden. With their tall dramatic stalks and beautiful, silvery foliage, they can easily double as ornamental plants. They absolutely love full sun and rich, fertile soil. Make sure to give each plant plenty of room to grow, about 3 feet of space on all sides. They do require consistent watering and will benefit from a feeding of compost each year. You harvest the flower buds while they are still tight and compact, but if you let a few of them bloom, they will open up into giant, vibrant purple flowers that pollinators go crazy for. Nearing the top of our list at number 2, we have blueberries. Blueberries are easily one of the most rewarding perennial fruits you can grow. With the proper care, a single bush can produce delicious berries for decades. The most important thing for blueberries is acidic soil, with a pH somewhere between 4.5 and 5.5. It is also a good idea to plant at least 2 different varieties near each other for better pollination and a bigger harvest. Space them about 4 to 5 feet apart. Water them regularly, especially while the fruit is developing, and mulch heavily with pine needles or wood chips to retain moisture and keep the soil acidic. Prune them in late winter to encourage new growth. You'll know they're ready to harvest once the berries are a deep, uniform blue and fall easily from the stem into your hand. Enjoy them fresh or freeze them for a taste of summer all year long. And finally, at number 1, we have the most unusual and incredible perennial on this list: walking onions, also known as Egyptian onions or tree onions. These plants are a true marvel of the garden. Instead of flowering and setting seed, they produce a cluster of small bulbs, or bulbils, at the tops of their stems. As those topset bulbs get heavier, the stalk bends over toward the ground. The bulbs then root themselves right where they land, and a new plant starts to grow as if the parent plant is literally walking across your garden. Plant the initial bulbs in full sun, about 6 inches apart. These onions need almost no care, are tough enough to survive harsh winters, and will come back every single year, spreading as they go. Plus, every part of the plant is edible. You can harvest the green tops like the underground bulbs like shallots, and even the topset bulbs to eat or replant. So there you have it. Let's do a quick recap. Our 9 perennial crops you only need to plant once are rhubarb, Jerusalem artichokes, chives, horseradish, asparagus, sorrel, globe artichokes, blueberries, and the amazing walking onions. These plants save you so much time, reduce the need for constant replanting, and help create a truly sustainable garden that produces an abundance of food for years to come. If you enjoyed this countdown and want to learn more ways to grow smarter, not harder, make sure to subscribe to GardenLife Studio. Hit that like button and share this video with another gardener you know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.